The Bible tells us that the Hebrews, God's chosen people, once went to Egypt to buy food. Because there was a great famine where they lived. They asked the Pharaoh, the Egyptian king, if they could graze their flocks of sheep on his land. They did not intend to stay, just to visit for a while and find relief from the famine. There were only 70 families when they arrived, but their population grew and they became a stronger group. The Pharaoh even was afraid that these Hebrews would take over Egypt, so he decided to make them his slaves. He made their lives miserable by forcing them to do hard labor and to build cities for him. The Pharaoh even passed a law that said of the children born to the Hebrews, only the girls were allowed to live. The baby boys must be killed as soon as they were born. There was one young mother who decided to save her baby boy. She put him in a basket that would float in the water and then drift down the Nile. Farther down the river, the Pharaoh's daughter was swimming in the river. She found the baby and decided to keep him. She named him Moses. Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace. But he knew that he was a Hebrew and not an Egyptian. He didn't like seeing the Hebrews in slavery, and he especially didn't like it when the Pharaoh's men whipped and beat his people. He decided to leave Egypt and become a shepherd. One day when Moses was taking care of his sheep, he saw a burning bush and heard a voice coming from the bush. It was the voice of God. God told Moses to go back to Egypt and free his people from slavery. Moses did what God said. He told Pharaoh, "Let my people go," but Pharaoh refused. God sent 10 plagues to the Egyptians. One, blood in the river. 2, frogs. 3, gnats. 4, flies. 5, disease. 6, boils. 7, hail. 8, locusts. 9, darkness. 10, killing of the firstborn in every household. It was time for Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. Moses told the people to slaughter and quickly cook a lamb and to eat it standing up, ready to leave any moment. He told them to smear some of the lamb's blood on their doorposts as a sign to God. The Hebrews did as Moses said. The Egyptians did not smear blood on the doors. During the night, God sent an angel of death to Egypt. When the angel saw the blood on the doors, he passed over the Hebrews' houses. But in the Egyptian houses, the angel stopped. The next morning, the oldest son in every house was dead. The Pharaoh was very sad. Finally, he said the Hebrew people could leave Egypt.
The Hebrews left quickly, so quickly they could not bake their bread. They had to carry it on their backs, and the sun baked it into flatbread. The Pharaoh yet again turned angry at the Hebrews and sent soldiers to chase them. The Hebrews came to the edge of the Red Sea and began to panic, for the Egyptians were close behind. But Moses held out his walking stick, and a miracle occurred. The Red Sea parted, leaving a dry path so the Hebrews could cross safely.
Once they were on the other side, Moses raised his walking stick again, and the waters of the Red Sea came rushing back, killing all the Egyptian soldiers. The Hebrews were grateful for God had saved his people.
Ôi, cái có